Yeah, that's quick. Yeah, mate. You could get in trouble a lot in this.
Oh, no, yeah.
So no Owen or Stu today, which is nice for me because I don't have to yell at anyone. I've got Matt behind camera. It's lovely, sunny. No, it's not really, is it? But don't worry, because the car behind me has all-wheel drive and, well, it's a TT, isn't it? But twice the horsepower it left factory with. So this should be interesting. Let's get stuck into it. So, this is Paul. Say hello, Paul. Paul,
Hi.
You've kindly brought your car along in the worst weather, but it's all-wheel drive.
It's all-wheel drive, it's
and
a daily.
You assured me it will grip.
Yeah, it will grip.
Okay, cool. So, this isn't obviously a standard Audi TT, but it isn't even a standard one that people might have seen before. This is a special edition one.
No, they all look the same, but what separates the QS is that it was put together by the sports division Audi, GMBH. So they put together the original Audi Quattro, the S4, the R8, and basically this. I might have missed one, but very few cars have got the GMBH.
Okay, cool. So if it's particularly well worked on car, it seems to be coming from GMBH.
Well, yeah, they put the badge on it. So
yeah, okay,
that's
cool.
what makes this. It's not just an Audi TT Mark 1. It's put together by these guys. So
it's obvious to see. This isn't your standard Audi. We had an Audi on the channel, which you saw.
Yeah.
Which was done on a budget.
Yeah.
This could not be more the opposite, could it?
That's what I said to Stuart. I said if he wants to see one that's not budget, then this is the one.
Oh man! Well, first of all, you can eat your dinner off of this. Tell us a little bit about the headline figures. So, you said the engine's been forged.
It's fully built.
Fully built
built
engine.
by JBS in Chesterfield. So the rods, bearings, pistons. It's all done. It's been tuned also by Badger 5.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard that
so
name. Yeah.
They also put in the Ignitron ECU, cat cams, 1000cc injectors, and then remapped it again. Specialist pipe work was done by Lost in Fab up in Manchester, so all the 4-inch inlet, all of the hard pipes, got rid of all the silicon.
It's phenomenal. Yeah, it's incredible.
Gas and Gears built the gearbox.
Okay.
Cars running on Bilstein coilovers. It's fully polybushed.
Sort of power we're making?
450 brake, and the torque is just under 420 pounds.
420 foot-pounds of torque as well.
Yeah.
And these roughly were anywhere between, depending on what spec you got, 180 to 225?
The 3.2 and the QS were both around the 240 brake from the factory.
Okay, so this is more or less half. Sorry, double.
Yeah,
double.
Yeah, but
that was half when it
it's
came
not
from
been
factory.
stroked. It's still the original 1.8. So round town, off boost, it runs exactly the same as a different factory.
Right. The other thing to bear in mind is Paul doesn't have this as a bit of a show car. You daily this car.
That's my daily.
You drive this every single day.
Every single day. Yeah. It was parked on the road last night.
I mean, it's a lot of work to put into a car.
Yeah,
You're going to live in a daily.
It doesn't live in a garage.
Does not live in a garage. So this is fine today. We're at B Road the Stag. We should probably point out actually, and there's some interesting cars in the car park, mainly TTs today. But sorry, I'll get distracted. So you've had the car a little while. That's right.
2010.
2010.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
And before that, you had an interesting car, didn't you? So
E46 M3.
Okay.
SMG gearbox, lovely car. But yeah, no, that's why I ended up falling into this.
And you had an interesting. So you got this to help with a partner at the time.
Was engaged to a lovely girl, and she wanted to be insured on the
E46.
on E46.
But it wasn't happening. Yeah.
So we managed to swing this, put on the insurance, but she didn't last. But the car did.
So this car's been around in your life quite a long time then. So
yeah.
has it been stages? You kind of got it to that point. You got it to that point.
Definitely stages. Stages. I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have thrown all the money I've thrown at it all in one go.
No, sure.
So I've been up like a layer cake.
Nice. Okay, so that's a bit of the engine work. So then going through to interior, what have we got different in here then? So with it being that spec, you said there's no rear seats are standard.
As standard, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd probably see that better if I...
Oh, look at the shifter. Still will get all moist over that. He likes a good shifter. It's a very, I mean, driver orientated.
It's a nice place to
Yeah. Even in ours, my, brief time in the car, did a few track days in it, but they're really good. They're a great sports car from the factory.
It doesn't come with all the gimmicks and the aids. It doesn't tell you to put your seatbelt on.
No, exactly, yeah.
Obviously, it's got a few alarms on the.
These are nice as well.
That's how they would have come from. That's how they would have come from the factory.
Yeah.
Mine came with comfort seats, so I've had to retrofit these.
Oh, okay.
But
they would be factory fit.
The seat delete is from factory. Basically, I haven't really done much to. I've tweaked with the interior, but there's not much to change really.
What I love is the fact that, like you said, everything had to be built well. Everything had to be strong. So it's kind of, if you could have your own firm building these, people would be ordering them. 100%. The finish is incredible.
I mean, you can't see it, but these came from the factory with reinforced cross bracing.
Oh wow,
so
Jesus!
They were, in a way, they were track ready.
Is it a firm ride?
Well, it's on Purple Series. It's firm, but it's not harsh.
Okay.
I certainly don't think it's harsh. It's my daily, so
I'll be the judge of that. It's an incredible build. It really is. They're walking around the back here, so almost like a club sport kind of spec with the rear seat delete, and then you've got bracing in there as well. So yeah, wow.
That's the strut brace. But like I say, they're quite practical for two people.
Yeah. Have you done any, I mean, obviously you use it as a daily. Have you done any drives like European stuff? Or?
No, I haven't been abroad yet. But, we were talking about Le Mans.
Nice. Yeah.
There was a trip. We were hoping to make a trip to Belgium in April, but we clashed with something else. So but it's.
Would you track it at all? It looks quite purposeful. I mean,
I just run out of talent.
You'd run out of talent.
I've got to be honest.
As someone who has run out of talent in TT, I can at half the power, for God's sake. Oh, interesting as well. Let's talk about the ADDICTS system as well. Actually, sorry.
So if you go into the settings on each one of those, you can drop down. There's a drop down.
Okay.
There's even a performance suite for 0 to 60 and whatever on it. But so like if you've got it, I have it on dynamic. So anything under 40%, it's front wheel drive.
Okay.
Over 40%, it starts to push more to the rears. But if you put it straight on sport, the blue line will come halfway down to start.
Right. Okay.
So like in weather like today, it's probably advised.
This is lovely.
But I mean, the thing is the more power you're running through more wheels, is the less power you're running on the road really.
Have you broke a lot on this journey, on this 10 plus year journey of the car? Is there much stuff that's broken?
I've had two dramas. One was a drive shaft gave way, just came undone. So that was a bit of a knacker, but I was quite close to home.
Okay.
The worst thing happened, I had a wheel come off on the M6.
A wheel come off on the M6?
Yeah, at gone midnight.
And
that was a drama.
That's like scary, I'd imagine.
Space shuttle re-entry.
Jesus. Right. Okay.
I managed to find the wheel and the spacer. And get it.
I can't wait to get in it.
But that was a malfunction.
Was that just not buttoned up?
It was a malfunction. It was a malfunction.
Always torque your wheels, folks.
Yeah, always torque your wheels.
Well, it looks like an awesome place to be. I'm excited to get out in it. Should we go for a drive?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go for a wet drive. There's all schmutz on the lens. Hopefully you can still see us. It's a Vaseline vision. Let's go for a drive. Well, first of all, you sit super low down in these seats.
Well, I've got them as low. I actually ordered it to get it down as low.
I feel like a child. I feel like Dad's taking me out for a Sunday drive.
Yeah, it's quite a special place to be once you're in.
That's
the noise is from the gearbox, as I said. It's a fully built gearbox. It's a little bit like the old 80s rally car. Don't be concerned. That's just how it is. Okay. And I was told it would be like that from the get-go.
Oh, so. Well, we're going to get a green light.
As I was explaining to Matt, you can sit here in, you're familiar with the TT, in first gear. Let's put it on boost. So, sorry, it's got the uprated, it's got the colour MFA.
Okay.
So it's got a completely different, it's not the standard.
You got like a digital,
This has got everything. You've got you can have all the torque and everything in, so I put it on boost. Boost.
What sort of boost it running?
Well, it won't, if I'm... zero
Okay.
boost. So these cars aren't designed from the lights.
From the lights.
It will go. You'll spin the flywheel.
But more from a rolling start.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Once you get into third and fourth, the torque really is super strong.
And you said the gearbox has been rebuilt using Ukrainian tank metal.
Yeah, it's a monster gear set from Bulgaria, stroke Romania, and then I sent the kit and the box up to Martin at Gas and Gears.
Okay.
Thankfully, my mechanic, as I said, it was on the ramp for 26 weeks. But he's Vince from RDS. He's a brilliant guy. And he's a handy driver, he's a racer.
Okay.
He won the vintage New Zealand rally in his Mark 1 Escort.
So he knows a thing or two.
Yeah, and he's helped me iron wrinkles out with the build. So yeah, I've had some help there.
It pulls strong, doesn't it? That's a really healthy pull. And it gets that power down nice and early, doesn't it?
Traction's not an issue.
I mean, we've literally got zero visibility out there.
I'm not gonna clog it on a road. I don't know, but I mean, that's an example of getting the power down. So if we go back to stop on the four-wheel drive controller, it shouldn't be too much different.
Really, and you can just tell. I mean, obviously you're short shifting because we don't want to go too crazy, but it would just go and go and go.
Oh yeah. Well, probably tell that it's slightly short ratios.
Yeah.
But that's for a road car. I mean, that just lends. For me, it just lends into the build because. Over 100. I mean, on the motorway, I drive this like a kitten because everyone's doing it.
In Mexico, you mean? When you're in Mexico.
In Mexico, yeah. On B roads and A roads, you know, especially roads I'm familiar with, it's an absolute weapon. As you said, it pulls.
It really does pull well.
And it's the torque.
Yeah.
It's the torque that you want because that's where all the fun is, isn't it?
Yeah.
For me, I'm a manual guy. I don't want to go to
sequential in front of. Yeah.
And also, how much do you want for the road?
Yeah.
You know, as I said, I'm not Ayrton Senna.
No, sure.
It is my daily, so I wanted to do both.
Is it difficult to drive it without having fun all the time? Do you have to hold yourself back a lot?
Well, certainly, around town I don't want to drive like that, but you know, given the opportunity, because it is a great car to drive.
Yeah.
I mean, even in these conditions, I'm not throwing it around the corners, but it will take it.
It's incredibly well put together. Yeah.
So what we'll do in a minute is you can have a go.
Okay. All right. I'll have a gentle go.
But like I say, you can rev to 7.2, I think, but the turbo runs out at 6.5 ish.
Okay.
So you know, it's a Garrett G25 550. So around 6.5. I think you're probably at the arse end of where it really wants to be.
Yeah, sure.
But so I say round town is a 1.8 standard fuel economy.
Otherwise, it does well to go back to being a regular car.
Yeah. The only thing I ever really maintain is never booting it
cold
under 80 degrees or temp.
Gee, you can feel it biting a little in the potholes there.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Honestly, I'm not fighting the wheel.
Okay.
I'm not fighting the wheel. It's
fair play.
It's good tyres. And just the right amount of torque at the right time.
Well, it's been a while since I've been in a TT.
6 paddle clutch.
6 paddle. It's going to be heavy, isn't it?
It's heavy.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Shall I just let her? Oh no, we can get out of there, can't we? So first, and then just come up real slow on it.
No, just give it some revs though. It's firm, isn't it?
It's very firm.
But
yeah.
As I said, everything's built for OEM
and to last. Yeah.
Engine's had 15,000 on it since I've had it built.
That is
mint, isn't it?
That is so nice. Do you know, Stu's been banging on about shifters, and I think 0.1, I don't know if you've heard of them, but they're going to do a shifter for him in his Golf.
Yeah.
And that's lovely. You feel so connected to the vehicle, don't you?
Without, I'm not bragging because I'm not a wealthy man, but the CAE was the top of the range shifter.
Okay.
There's cooler works, and I looked at them, and I just went for the. But like I say, Vince is the rally driver. He loves this shifter.
Yeah.
Absolutely loves it.
I can see why.
It's mental.
Just roll into 4. Yeah, when it suddenly comes on, when it comes on song. But jeez,
not under steering.
No, and the weather is shocking.
Yeah.
Feels very direct.
Oh no, it is.
Yeah.
People are surprised when they drive it because they're used to the Audi understeer.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
They're known for it.
Yeah. Once it's that torque. Once it gets you going.
But there's your boost in the window. So
gotcha.
If you're brave enough to look down,
I think it's one or the other. Yeah. That's quick. That's a quick car.
But manageable.
Yeah.
It's doing what I want it to do.
Yeah. And it's very it's predictable in a way because it's so well built.
It's a Stewart car.
Yeah, it's so well built. Yeah. Sorry, Stu, you should be sat here. Jesus, yeah.
I'll have to bring it up to you guys in the summer.
Oh, we would love to see this in the dry. Yeah, I bet it really is something in the dry, man. To a cheeky third gear. And then coming into third. Golly, man. Woohoo! Yeah. Weapon, yeah. Right, you're coming back in the dry. No questions. You're coming back in the dry, and yeah.
Well, I'm glad to hear it.
Let's see this thing again in the dry. If it wasn't such a horrendous day, I'd probably
mate.
You could get in trouble a lot in this.
Oh, no, yeah.
Thank you so much. So I don't often get to go out in the cars, and I often don't get to drive them. And the last time I drove a TT was around Brands Hatch, and we'll say less about that. But I would say this is what Audi should have produced. They should have been like, if you want a full bore, go mad car, that's it. I mean, the cost would have been outrageous. We don't talk about cost though.
Smiles to go.
As you can see, I'm just buzzing. It drives so well, and it's so compliant, and I can see why you daily it. That shifter, piece of response.
It's got Stuart's, it's got Owen's name on it.
Well, he'd be snatching the hell out of that. But yeah, certainly Stu with his quick shifter. Anyway, I'm waffling because I'm excited. Thank you so much for coming down in possibly the worst weather we've shot in. Yeah, I mean, if they want to know any more about the car, I mean, could they drop you a line somewhere?
Yeah.
Drop you a message? Are you on Instagram or anything?
Well, I am on Instagram.
Okay.
The car hasn't got one because I'm too old for all of that sort of stuff. But 9064 on Instagram.
Okay.
Or get in touch with you guys.
Yeah, and we can go across. But
across.
if you've got a budget Audi TT, this is what we should have done, Matthew. This is what we should have done with ours. But we didn't have the pockets for it, unfortunately. We're poor. Thank you very much for watching. I'm sorry I waffled on. This has been really good fun. I've enjoyed this. Maybe Stu and Owen should do more stuff another time. And I think Owen's getting measured up for a new nose ring, and Stu's at Brands Hatch. So that's an interesting choice of words. Thanks so much for watching. I've been Nick. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. Ta.
I don't miss, I don't play none, I don't diss, I don't say none. I go swish, that's an A1. I steak with no A1. Tell the chef, I said thanks to the teller.